All right, welcome to our first podcast dealing with biomes of the Earth, large areas that have kind of similar conditions, similar organisms living in them. We are going to go through the terrestrial biomes, meaning those that are on land. We'll do a couple in podcast form and the rest in class, okay? So, first, let's understand what a biome is. We already said it's an environment that has a certain characteristic climax community. Now, we talked about a climax community as being the end result of succession. So when we hit that most stable community over a large area, that's a biome, okay? It's characterized by its soil, its climate conditions, the kinds of plants and animals that live in it, and so on. Now, if we look at this, just one representation of all the different biomes on planet Earth, all the different colors representing different biomes, and we'll kind of go through these as we go through each biome, okay? The main factors that determine what kind of biome is going to arise, what type of climax community is going to arise in a given area, there are two, okay? The climate, which is made up of two factors, temperature and precipitation. It's those two factors that are going to really determine what kind of vegetation can grow and therefore what types of animal life can be supported. Please note that climates are not always this uniform condition throughout a biome area. There are regions within biomes, small regions called microclimates, that may differ from the climate area all around it. For example, if you have a mountain in the middle of a deciduous forest biome, when you get to the top of that mountain, it may be so cold that you have a slightly different type of microclimate up there and different kinds of plants and animals than what you would see at the bottom of the mountain. Okay? All right, the major terrestrial biomes are listed here for you. We are only going to address some of these. Of course, we will do a tropical rainforest. We will do a tropical savanna or tropical grassland, desert, a temperate grassland, temperate deciduous forest, a boreal forest, and the tundra. So that looks like 7. Okay. Now, the first one we're going to do is the tropical rainforest, which is highlighted in the red areas here. So Central America, South America, of course, Indonesia over here, southern China, I guess that is. It looks like they're trying to color these red. I don't know why they look kind of different. All right. Now, first thing to remember about the tropical rainforest is the climate. It is hot and wet all year round. Now, we associate the rainforest with lots of incredible plant growth, and supporting lots of incredible animal life. So with all those incredible plants, you would think the soil would have to be very rich. But in fact, the opposite is true. The soil is famously pretty poor, and the reason being, anytime a dead leaf falls on the ground or whatever, anytime any organic matter like that hits the soil, there's so much life in the area, it is immediately decomposed, and immediately those nutrients are taken up by the plants that are living in that forest. So the organic matter that falls does not build up on the ground to make nice rich soil. It gets used almost immediately. Of course, you know, it has very diverse plant and animal life. The term biodiversity you should associate to the extreme with the tropical rainforest, lots of different plants and animals. Also, we need to be aware of the terms canopy and understory, referring to the locations vertically in the trees. So I'm sure you are already aware that if you're walking around down here, you're in the understory of the forest. If you are climbing the tree and you're up here, that was supposed to be something, I don't know what, and you're up in the canopy, okay? found in Central and South America, Southeast Asia, and even parts of Africa, India, and Australia. But mostly we will focus on the Central and South American rainforest. Okay? All right. The climate, more specifically, 25-degree temperatures. So you figure room temperature is around 20, so warmer than room temperature throughout the whole year. And an amazing amount of rain, 200 to 400 centimeters of rain. So 100 centimeters is 1 meter stick. Okay? Imagine 4 of those stacked on top of each other, amount of rain per year. Enormous amounts of moisture, enormous heat. Okay? Other characteristics, home to more different species than all other land biomes put together. We already talked about the soar, that's poorness. We've already spoken about the canopy and the understory. Now, we do need to talk about their relationship with regard to light. The thick canopy does block sun from underneath, so the competition for light down in the understory is quite severe, and that's kind of just one of the things about succession. The grasses would have had to have arisen first, way back millions of years ago in the rainforest, but they made the land suitable for larger trees, and the larger trees thanked them by blocking out all the sun for those grass plants that made the land suitable and created soil in the first place. Many diverse species of plants that are all very highly specialized and adapted to very specific environments. Things like this pitcher plant, the Venus flytrap, this thing, I can't remember the name of it, but they smell horrible. They smell like rotten meat because they attract flies as their pollinators. So incredibly diverse, incredibly specific, occupying very tiny little niches in specific roles, which you have to do, because when you have this much life in an area, it has to really have a narrow little niche in order to coexist with all the other life forms. Remember, we cannot share the exact same niche. 2 species can't share it. All right, so animal life also rich and varied, lots and lots of tree dwellers, colorful insects and birds. These birds of paradise are just amazing. Yes, that is a bird. I bet you've seen a little YouTube clip of him. The reptiles, amphibians, and so on. Now, of course, you also know about the problems in the rainforest with destruction of the rainforest, occurring at an extraordinarily rapid pace as human population grows, and slash and burn techniques that are used as native people need more farmland. They farm the blazes out of the land until the soil is no more good, and then they just go and cut down another area of trees so they can farm. Please be aware that as the rainforest is destroyed, many plants and animals in that rainforest biome that might produce chemicals useful to us, useful in fighting diseases, making medicines and things. As we destroy the rainforest, we destroy these organisms before we've even had a chance to discover that they're there. Just be aware of that very important resource that we are destroying at a pretty rapid pace every day. All right, that's it for the rainforest. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next podcast.